What is up, football fans? This is Play Action Takes, Apollo Media's NFL podcast, where we're breaking down the AFC playoff picture. It's time, boys. It's week 18, but this podcast is brought to you by Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint. They're opening their 14th location here in the next few months, so congratulations to Big City Wings on that. And go check out Celebrity Mint. CelebrityMint.com has these awesome graded collectibles that you can go get, put them on your desk, put them on your bookshelf behind you. If you're recording a podcast, go get stuff from CelebrityMint.com.
Yes. Please do. And thank you.
Stoney, AFC playoff picture, You're going to have to hold my hand like a little child explaining these scenarios because holy shit.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't think it would be still this muddled before the last week of the fucking year. I didn't think that.
So I think heading into week 17, there was still 20 teams that could make the playoffs. It's the most in NFL history heading into week 17. Obviously, we're in the new era of week 18, but I think there's still like 16 or so, 18 teams maybe that have a chance. And the AFC is it's a fuck fest, if you will.
Yeah, it's a bloodbath. I mean, are the Broncos still alive? Like, that's wild.
Kind of,
you know?
Yes.
Jarrett Stidham Broncos are still mathematically alive.
There's a lot that has to happen for them and some other teams, but we'll just go ahead and jump into it. Everyone knows, number one seed, Baltimore Ravens. They've already clinched. They're resting Lamar Jackson and probably some other starters in week 18 against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are still alive and need some things to happen. But the number two seed is Miami's or Buffalo's, depending on who wins that Sunday night matchup. Number three seed is locked at Kansas City. The 4 seed, where the Houston Texans still have a shot. Jacksonville Jaguars are in control. If they win, they're the 4 seed. They win the division. If they lose, one of the Texans or the Colts, whoever wins that matchup on Saturday night, will win the division with the Jacksonville loss.
Yep.
We're still alive, boys. We're still alive for the division.
Still alive for the division, which is crazy.
Bonkers.
But for me, as a Houston football Texans fan, like, just get in.
Just get in.
Doesn't have to be home wild card round. Like, just get in.
Yeah.
Win on your end.
Y'all have it made,
just
though.
Get in. Also, I mean, I'm not really worried about winning the division. It's not really a thing I'm even looking at, just because the Jacksonville Jaguars play the Titans this week. The Titans are one of the worst football teams I've ever seen, maybe in my life. So,
wow,
really bad. They're really bad.
I mean, they're bad. Like 30 games in a row.
Yeah, no, definitely not that bad, but they're awful, especially this time of year. Everyone's kind of checked out, so I just don't think there's any chance that happens. But like Garrett said, I just want to get in, just get this win against Indy, and somehow sneak your way in, and then then we'll hit the road running. We'll figure it out after that, but just get in.
Yeah.
So then the number 5 seed, the Cleveland Browns, locked in at number 5. Number 6 is Miami or Buffalo, with some caveats. So if Miami loses, they're locked in at 6. If Buffalo loses, they're not necessarily locked in. This is where it starts to get a little hairy and confusing, and I don't really know what's happening. I'm going to do my best to explain this. Houston, Indianapolis, with the Jacksonville win, and one of those teams, whoever wins the Saturday night matchup, will end with the 6 seed. If that ends in a tie, you are also still able to win the division if Jacksonville loses or ties, I think. And then if Buffalo loses, Houston or Indianapolis wins, and the Steelers win, then the Steelers would end up as the 7 seed. Houston, Indianapolis winner, or Jacksonville. One of the AFC South teams would be the 6 seed, and the Steelers would be the 7 seed, and the Buffalo Bills would be out of the playoffs.
Holy shit. Wild. I can't, and that's like for real. That could happen.
Yeah, that's very.
I think that's a good chance of happening. That's what a wild AFC playoff picture. So many of these, and when you start bringing ties into it, I'm like, fuck. I'm like pinching the bridge of my nose.
Yeah, we got to leave that out. I mean, that's just it gets way too convoluted, way too confusing. But yeah, I mean, it's fun. That makes like week 18. It's obviously there's so many exciting games, but the AFC this year is really delivering, and I'm really excited to see how it goes down. I really think I hope the Steelers. I don't want any of these teams with backup quarterbacks getting in. That is my thing.
So you don't want the Browns in?
No. Well, they're the exception just because of how dominant they've been. But like, I don't really need to see Mason Rudolph playing. I don't need to see that. You know what I mean? I think Josh Allen. No.
Don't sleep on Mason.
I get it, but it's still Mason Rudolph. I want to see C.J. Stroud. I don't want to see Gardner Minshew in the playoffs. I want to see C.J. Stroud in the playoffs. Sorry, Stone, but I want to see Josh Allen in the playoffs. I want to see these upcoming and current superstars playing, not Jake Browning or Mason Rudolph or like all these other Gardner Minshew. Look, all respect to those guys, but I want it to be exciting. They're not exciting.
Yeah, and so you mentioned Cincinnati, Jake Browning. I don't know their scenarios. I did not write them down because there's a lot that has to happen for them, as well as the Denver Broncos. But they're both still alive somehow, some way.
I thought Cincinnati was eliminated.
Are they?
They could have been.
That's what Josh just said.
Then, yeah, I don't even know. Let me pull up.
I can double check. I mean, it would make sense. They are eaten. They are okay. Double checked, double confirmed. They are eliminated.
Okay. Yeah, it's just
they are eliminated.
It's confusing. So the Broncos are still alive. They need a lot of help. They need everyone to lose every game, essentially.
God damn it, dude! What the fuck? Ugh. I love it though. I love it. It just would be cool if the Texans had a few more wins under their belt and they were like, they already clinched the division, and then we can watch the rest of the lower seedings just unfold and madness ensuing. But we're a part of the madness.
Yeah.
We're the joke. We're the Joker. We're in Arkham Asylum right now. Yeah. A part of it all. We're going crazy. So it's fun to watch, but at the same time, it's stressful.
Our two teams, the Texans and the Dolphins, are kind of involved in the two biggest games of the week and two of the biggest kind of games that are going to shake up everything and kind of be the two games that figure it out. So we're both in really exciting positions here for all of us. It's a very stressful week over here at Play Action Takes.
I'm just happy that the Miami Dolphins won enough games to where they're already in, and this scenario is just for the division and the 2 seed, which would be awesome because that guarantees at least one home playoff game, if not two. And I'm just glad that I don't have to worry about making the playoffs this year, which they've been in that scenario for the last 2 years. At 9-8, they had to win and needed some help as well in the previous year, which they didn't get. It's a clusterfuck. The whole AFC playoff picture is a cluster. Did you see what Adam Schefter tweeted out, like the NFL memo, where it's just a whole page of scenarios for each team?
Yeah.
I started reading it and I was confused.
It's like a Stephen King novel.
Yeah.
You know, it's just twists and turns, and it's like, and then the NFC, in the NFC, they're like, we're pretty much locked in. We just have one more team to go, you know, whoever that may be. But
Packers.
AFC is like anyone. It's like all the way up the second, fourth, fifth. Like all of them are up for grabs. Maybe not the fifth. I think that's pretty much. Yeah, I think that's pretty much.
So I think the NFC is locked up except for the 7th seed. Green Bay is in with a win. I think Minnesota is in with a win and a Green Bay loss, I think is what it is. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's the NFC 1 through 6 is pretty much locked. I think positions are locked except for Cowboys Eagles, which we'll get into later, much like the Dolphins Bills kind of scenario. But let's go ahead and talk about it.
The Bears this week have the opportunity to get years worth of revenge on the Packers. I mean, they could because obviously the Bears are looking. I mean, they're hot right now. They had a good game this past week. They kind of have some momentum. People are really loving Justin Fields in Chicago, and Chicago, he could win the entire city and entire franchise over if he goes to Green Bay. Or I don't know where they're playing, if they're in Chicago, or if he just beats Green Bay and ruins their playoff hopes for this year. Oh, they'll build a statue right then and there.
Yeah, back-to-back years for the Packers against a divisional opponent. Win and you're in, lose and you're out. Last year was the Lions. This year it's the Bears.
Yep, I know.
That's trap game for them.
Yep,
game for them.
Trap game.
I think Chicago. You're right. No, they are hot, and they have the chance to do the funniest thing possible.
It would be really funny. But let's go ahead and get into it. I know y'all are going to touch on this a lot more than we are in this podcast. But Texans -1.5 at Indianapolis Colts. Saturday Night Football, prime time. You can finally get your prime time game, boys.
Yeah, I mean, it would be. I get it. You know, the Buffalo Miami game, higher, maybe not higher stakes, but better teams, I'd say, involved. And they were like the NFL was kind of like, all right. I mean, we can't not put the Colts and Texans game in prime time. Like it's winning, you're in, and it's CJ Stroud, and you have to. You know, so I think that's why they made that special little ESPN Saturday night slot and primetime Stroud finally. Primetime Stroud, you know.
Yeah, I think the main reason is Miami night games probably look aesthetically better than an Indianapolis night game under a roof. You know, I think that's mainly what it was. NBC got the night game for Sunday. Obviously, I think it's NFL Network on Saturday night. Texans.
ESPN.
Oh, it's ESPN. ESPN. My bad.
Yes,
Joe Buck and Troy.
Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Joe Buck tweeted about it.
There we go.
Yeah, he did. He said this is a playoff game, and this is the game he's most excited for. And I'm like, you know what? It's a good choice. Because Miami and Buffalo is fun, but it's like both. You know, Miami's in. You're good. This is a playoff game. I mean, it is. It's all the stakes are right here for both teams, and it's going to be an absolute dogfight. It's going to be a bloodbath. I think it's going to be. I don't know. I mean, the Texans theoretically should win. I mean, they're favored by 1.5 like that. But the thing is, it's like I don't know. You never know. This Colts team, Shane Steichen. I think this is also the Coach of the Year bowl. Honestly, I think the winner of this game will the winner of this game that their head coach will probably win Coach of the Year because right now it's kind of neck and neck between DeMeco.
I think honestly,
Dan Campbell.
To be honest with you, I think Dan Campbell has it locked up, but I
don't think Dan has it locked up.
I don't think it's locked up, but it's very close.
I think Detroit winning the division is like pretty. That's pretty like wow, it's as good as you can get right there. Or him and Stefanski. I think him or Stefanski.
Stefanski is somebody. I think Stefanski gets it over Dan Campbell for sure. I think Dan deserves it. I think it's cool, but the thing is, they went. What they go like 9-8 last year. I think was their final record around there, maybe 8-9. Like that's a fine season. And the Coach of the Year is just it's a turnaround prize. It's like did you turn the franchise around? And obviously, there's no bigger turnaround, I think, in the league this year than the Texans. So I think DeMeco deserves it, but I don't know if he's going to get it because Shane's also done a great job especially with having AR go down. But it's going to be it's coming down. A lot of stuff this year is coming down to the wire.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the Texans are at an advantage playing on Saturday night. I think that's better for your team. So you don't have to sit there watching football all weekend, looking at all the scenarios, like needing certain teams to lose, needing certain teams to win. No distractions, really, because it's Steelers-Ravens. The game before that doesn't really implicate either. I mean, it's winter you're in for Houston, Indianapolis, so it doesn't implicate y'all for the first game on Saturday. Saturday night, it's for all the marbles. And if you win, you still have a shot at the division. Then you can worry about scenarios and all that kind of stuff, but you don't have to worry about that on a Sunday night. If the Jags lose, like before your game on Sunday night, then you're like, oh, now we can win the division. The stakes are even higher than they already were.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about that. Just win and then let the dominoes fall where they may.
My stomach is in a knot. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm a nervous Nelly about it. I honestly don't know. It's like a pick. It's like a pick 'em for me.
Yeah,
you know, it is interesting that Houston is favored though. You know, I think it's because the home point gets what 3?
It's 1.5 now.
Oh, it's 1.5. Oh, okay.
So it would be at home. It'd be a 3-point line as opposed to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. No, I don't know. I'll have to. Before I make a prediction, I'll have to really sit on it and think on it. I don't even know if I want to give a prediction.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Save your predictions or more talk for Off the Gridiron. Go ahead and go over to Apollo HOU on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Turn the notification bell on so you don't miss a single episode of Off the Gridiron or Play Action Takes. Yeah, boys, I'm nervous for you. I'll be watching. I'll be rooting for you. I just want to have the second round matchup between Miami and Houston. Just make my day.
Oh,
I'm trying, Jennifer.
I'm trying so hard. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I really want the Texans to play the Dolphins. That's like my biggest wish. I'm not even asking for like a Super Bowl. I don't care. Give me a Dolphins matchup. I just want that episode of Play Action Takes so bad.
Play Action Takes war. We'll go ahead and get into Bills at Dolphins. The Bills are favored by 3 points on Sunday night in Hard Rock Stadium in Miami.
It's wild.
I'm nervous.
What is wild?
I mean, because this is like another pick'em for me, and because both teams stars on either side. Obviously, Buffalo killed y'all earlier in the year, but that was earlier in the year. But y'all also just got killed by Baltimore. Buffalo just like skidded by the Patriots. Josh Allen had a bad game. I don't know. I don't know who has the momentum right now.
I don't
know. I guess maybe I don't know. And also, it's in Miami. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. This is another. I don't even want to give my prediction. How about that, dude?
Yeah,
exercising my right not to talk.
It's a problem. You know, it's a problem that you want to have though. Win and you get the division. Because if you tell a majority of Dolphins fans before the season, Week 18 is for the division. Win, you win the division. Lose, you're still in the playoffs. You take that. As a Dolphins fan, as battered as we are for the last 20-something years now, 25 years really, as battered as we are, we'd take that before the season. But now I'm looking at it and I'm just, why couldn't we just win the Tennessee game? If we just win the Tennessee game, it's over. It's already been over. You don't have to worry about it. You get throttled by Baltimore. That's fine. You're still locked in at 2. Yeah, but we don't have that.
Fucking all too well, bud. I know it all too well. Just win a game against the fucking the winless Panthers, and we're winning this division, dude. Brutal. Yeah, see, I know it all too well, bud.
Yeah, brutal. Yeah, it's extremely weird to me that I know we kind of already touched on this. It's extremely weird to me that the Bills are favored, especially by this much. At Hard Rock is crazy. I get that y'all just got shit on by the Ravens. I know. But that's also the Ravens. It's the hottest team in the NFL. It's a team that everyone has going to Super Bowl, no doubt. And I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think that the Dolphins are getting a lot of disrespect. For sure. I don't think people are buying into what they're selling as much as they were earlier this season. And it's been up and down for sure. But I think y'all are the better football team. I think the Dolphins are.
Colin Cowherd's leading that charge. By the way, he's fucking shitting on the Dolphins, and everyone's starting to be like, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I kind of get it. Obviously, after that loss last week, but that's like I said, it was the Ravens. I think the Dolphins win. I mean, I think it'll be close, but I think the Dolphins get this at least by a touchdown.
I think the line is where it's at because if you look at the injury report and the players on IR currently, we're down 18 starters out of 22.
Ooh.
That sucks. That sucks, man.
Like,
that's most
not down 18, but there's 7 on IR. We just made our last elevation from IR with Jerome Baker, who may or may not play. Jalen Waddle may or may not play. Raheem Mostert may or may not play. Xavier Howard is out. Robert Hunt may or may not play. Everyone's banged up. It's the end of the season. Yeah. This is the NFL. This is the football that we watch. This is what happens to teams, every team. So this is not an excuse. I'm just pointing it out that there are 18 players, 7 of which are on IR for the rest of the season, and another 11 that are on the injury report, and like half of them may or may not play.
Not an excuse, but you're pointing out that it is ass. Yeah. You're just making an observation that is simply ass.
It would be cool to have like half of those players be healthy. Just saying.
No, I feel that, man. If Tank Dell was on our team, I think we'd fucking for sure win.
And half of your offensive line. It's rough. It's rough.
Yeah. It sucks. It's tough out here, man. It's tough out here, fellas.
Yeah. So that's Sunday night, and then we'll go ahead and talk about the NFC East. So Cowboys win. They win the division. If the Cowboys lose and the Eagles win the division. They will either be the 2 or the 5 seed. Whoever, if the Cowboys win, they lock up 2. Eagles lock up 5. Eagles are limping. The Cowboys are fine right now. Close game against the Dolphins. Close game against the Lions. They go 1-1. They probably take that 9 times out of 10 if you're a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I mean, the Cowboys should win. They're playing the Commanders. Eagles should win. They're playing the Giants, but the Eagles kind of almost didn't win against the Giants on Christmas Day. And I don't know. That's the
I'm taking Ty God. I'm taking Ty God Taylor every day of the week against this Eagles team right now. Let's go. Yep.
I mean, they gave the Rams a run for their money, and the Rams are solid right now. And I mean, the Commanders they're a goddamn train wreck. They're bad. They're terrible. Dallas, they know what they're playing for. They're not going to phone it in. They'll handle them. And I think it's pretty easy equation. You know, Dallas Dallas better than Philly right now. Dallas way better than Commanders. They win. They win a division, which is wild. Good for Dallas for grabbing that 2 seed when it looked like, the Eagles were off-season champs basically, with their draft and all that, and coming off a Super Bowl loss. So good for Dallas, winning the division.
I'm going to pull.
I'm already declaring them winners.
This is a big week for Brock Purdy haters as well, because I think we got to keep an eye on Sam Darnold, see how he does in that offense. You know what I mean? Because if he comes out there slinging it, we're going to get a whole lot of tweets about, "Oh, see, anyone can come in this system and be good." Blah blah blah. Blah, 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 blah. Sam Darnold, keep an eye on him.
The other thing we got to look at here is the Buccaneers are playing the Panthers. Should win. I don't know if they win the division. I don't know what that looks like with the Saints. The Saints have the Falcons. Yeah, that's for the division and the 4 seed, because you win a division, you get a top 4 seed. Sure, whatever. We're going to have an 8-9 or 9-8 team winning a division. Welcome back.
If it's going to be a team in that division, obviously, which it has to be, I would want it to be the Buccaneers. I'd rather watch Baker Mayfield than like Desmond Ridder or Derek Carr as Saints. I don't like any of that. I'd rather watch the Bucs.
Yeah. No, I think everyone's in that boat with you, including me.
And then obviously Saturday, kicking off the slate, Steelers, Ravens. Ravens are sitting Lamar Jackson and probably some more players, so Tyler Huntley gets the start. And if the Steelers win, they put themselves in a position to make the playoffs. They're going to be going for the win. The defense is good. They're playing against backups. I don't know. Yeah. I witnessed this 2 years ago. The Dolphins just needed to beat Buffalo in Week 18, and Buffalo had nothing to play for. And I think they gave up 50 points. So,
yeah, I don't know. You can do that against Mike Tomlin, though. Mike Tomlin he's a man on a mission right now. Sure man on a mission. Already got his winning record, kept the streak alive, and now he's like, "Oh fuck, I'm coming for the playoffs." And I don't know if they will get in, because obviously they'll need help.
Yep.
From a lot of including a win for themselves, but they're not going to go down easy. So they're definitely not going to go down easy.
And no outside pressure, because they're playing on Saturday afternoon. Don't have to worry about all the scenarios until Sunday, and really Sunday night, because they need the Jags to win, which I know doesn't sound great to y'all, but I guess it doesn't really matter. If you win, you're in. So they need the Jags win on Sunday afternoon, and then they need a Dolphins win on Sunday night for the Steelers to make it.
Yeah.
Craziness.
I don't remember playoff scenarios coming down to Week 18 like this. I don't think we've had one in our past.
And I think we all, maybe not talking about the Texans, but we knew the AFC was going to be a very competitive conference going into this year. We kind of we're really thinking like, oh, the Chargers and the Jets and all that, and now it's like it's completely turned upside down. It's tossed up. It's mixed around, but it's still just as competitive. Like you have the Gardner Minshew Colts vying for a playoff spot. Who would have thunk? You have the Texans vying for a playoff spot. Who would have thunk? The Browns are great. Browns are a great team. They're already locked up pretty much in the 5th seed. So I think they are actually. I don't think there's anything any possible way they can get anything lower than a 5th seed. So. Yeah, no, it's competitive, crazy, memorable year in the AFC conference.
Yeah, and I think there is a way for 11 AFC teams to have a winning record this year. 11 out of 16 teams could have a winning record in the AFC this year. Most competitive conference that we've seen ever.
Man, if you're a fan of an AFC team and you go and you have a winning record and miss the playoffs, don't feel bad, man. It's fucking stacked. It's competitive.
Crazy.
I don't feel bad. That's how I'm going. Well, I take that back. I will go crazy.
No, but we will be upset. Yeah, we'll be really mad.
I will go insane. But at the same time, after this, I'll be like, after the dust clears.
Yeah. After the dust settles, we'll just all point and laugh at the NFC, basically.
I'll be like, I'll be like 9-8. That's 9-8. That's pretty good. So. That's what it'll be at the end of the day.
And my last fun fact: Jacksonville Jaguars have a losing record on American soil this year.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
God bless. But Week 18 is upon us. The playoff scenarios have been laid out. A lot of things have to happen for certain teams. Our teams, if we win, we're good. Doesn't matter where we are at in the standings. At the end of the day, if we win, we're in. Obviously, the Dolphins are in, but win and you get the division and home field for a couple of rounds. So it's time to watch some football, boys. It's time to get nervous and sit down and sweat on your couch Saturday and Sunday. Just sweat it all out. I'll be in Miami Sunday night. I'm nervous. I don't have.
You're the one who has to wait. I do not envy your position. You have to wait through 2 games on Saturday, through the entire slate on Sunday, just to get to your game, and that sucks.
Sitting in it, dude.
Yeah, dude. Just Garrett and I get the Band-Aid ripped off pretty quick. Saturday night, we're just waiting for game time. We're not waiting through a bunch of bullshit. We're going to have to sit through Bucks and Panthers, for God's sake. We're just going to get right into it, and I can't wait.
Yeah, the last time I was in Miami, it was a Monday night game, which kind of sucks as well because you watch all the games on Sunday, and then you got to wait a whole another day until you watch your team. But at least there was no football played on Monday where I could just be like, all right, there's a game tonight. That's fine. Now I got to watch football all day long and then just be nervous the entire time and then go to the stadium and throw up for 4 hours.
Sounds torturous. Yeah, sounds absolutely torturous.
Sounds like hell.
I'm very excited to be in Miami again. Warm weather, sunshine, all that, but nervous. I'm nervous. The last Miami Buffalo game I went to was week 1 of the 2021 season, or week 2 in Hard Rock, and Tua got hurt on like the first drive, third play or something, broke his ribs, all that. So just putting that out in the air to make myself feel worse about what's going on.
If the Dolphins lose this Sunday night, it's going to start snowing in Miami, and not like pretty snow. It's going to be just like painful, hitting you really hard.
Look like Game of Thrones at the end of the
just terrible. Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to burn Hard Rock down. Snow. That's a threat. That's a threat.
That's a fucking threat.
I like it.
Boy, oh boy. Week 18 is upon us. This has been Play Action Takes, Apollo Media's NFL podcast, where we talk about all the NFL happenings, all the AFC and NFC playoff scenarios. We're about to get into playoff talk next week, boys. It's going to be a lot of fun, but this podcast has been brought to you by Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, and Apollo's Wing Joint. Go check out their stuff for daily specials. They have stuff pretty much every day. You can get deals on everything. Their wings, burgers, all the stuff. As well as CelebrityMint.com. Go check out CelebrityMint.com. Go check out all the awesome graded collectibles that they have right above Garrett's head there. Ric Flair, Mike Tyson, just the big guys on the graded collectibles.
Just the legends.
Big ones. Go check out CelebrityMint.com. Links are in the description below. Follow us along at Apollo HOU on social media and hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Apollo HOU. It's been Play Action Takes, Apollo Media's NFL podcast.
Sir. Hey, watch NFL. Watch football. Make the playoffs.
Make the playoffs, please, God. Please.
Please.